Okay, hi there. Today I'll be covering Algebra 1 review for quiz 2. So, getting right to it. There's going to be some of these problems on your quiz that'll be rather straightforward. You know, you're just trying to get the y alone, so you're thinking opposite operations. What's the opposite of subtracting 3? Well, that's adding 3. Okay, and I add 3 to both sides. The 3's cancel. Negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5, and that's the answer. This one, remember, a fraction is division, so I'm really dividing by 4, which means the opposite of dividing by 4 is multiplying by 4, which gives me negative 32. When I multiply negative 8 times 4. Okay. Next one. Now this one's a little trickier because I'm going to use the reciprocal. You'd either divide by the fraction, which means you actually like flip and multiply when you divide fractions. So if I just multiply by 14 over 3, then those will cancel. They'll be like 1. And if I take, you could do one of two things. I could either take 8 over 1 and multiply it by 14 over 3. So 8 times 14 would be my numerator, which is 112 over 3. And it would be negative. Or you could punch it into a calculator and give a decimal, which would be negative 37.3 repeating. Right? Put the bar over the 3 to repeat. One of those two things would work for you. All right, next one. I'm going to try to get the negative y alone first, which means the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 8 from both sides. And those will cancel. And then I'm left with negative y. 14 minus 8 is 6. Okay, and then I have to do one more thing. I have to get rid of the negative sign, which means I'm going to either multiply by negative 1 or divide by negative 1. Either one will work, which means I end up with y equals negative 6. Okay. Number 5, a decimal one. So there's a couple ways you could do this. I could either do it straight out with 1.6, subtract 1.6 from both sides. 8.9 minus 1.6 is 7.3 equals 4.2x. And then you divide, because there's multiplication connecting the 4.2 and the x, and the opposite of multiplying is dividing. And if I take my calculator and go 7.3 divided by 4.2, I'll get 1.74. Now it came out messy, a messy decimal if I round off. Okay. Now if you wanted to go multiply that whole equation by 10, you could do that also, like we talked about, where you move all the decimal points 1 to the right. So it would be 42 plus 16 equals 89, and then solve that. Okay, that will get you the same answer. Okay. All right. Next, this one. This is once again a fraction bar is division, which means the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the fraction bar. Multiply by 3 and get rid of it. 8 times 3 is 24. And I got negative 4 plus x is 24. The opposite of adding negative 4 is adding positive 4. And I'll get x equals 28. Okay, and that is what I got. And you can always check your answer too, right? Don't forget that. So if I took negative 4 plus 28 and divide by 3, do I get 8? Well, we'll find out. 28 minus 4, or negative 4 plus 28 is 24. Over 3 is 8. 24 divided by 3 is, in fact, 8. So don't forget, you can check your answers. Good thing to do on your quiz. Number 7. So this one is one where I can combine like terms first, okay? Remember that 4y is negative, really. So it's negative 4y plus 2y is negative 2y plus 8 equals 20. And then I can subtract 8 from both sides. And I get negative 2y equals 12. And last but not least, I'll divide by negative 2. and I'll get y equals -6. Okay? I'm not going to check all my answers in the interest of time on the video, but you certainly should if you have time after you finished your quiz. So next one is a distributive property one. 3 times y is 3y. 3 times 4 is 12 equals 24. Next, I'm going to add 12 to both sides, and I'll get 3y equals 36. Last step is divide by 3. That's 3 times y, which means I get my answer of y equals 12. Okay? This one, probably the hardest question on the quiz in some ways. I want common denominators, or to get rid of them, so I'm going to multiply everything by 3. And when I do that, all these denominators go away. Whoop, whoop. And I'm left with 2x times 3 is 6x. 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 1 is 3. And now this became a lot easier to solve. Okay? If I subtract 15, I get 6x equals -12. And then I can divide by 6. I get x equals -2. Another way I could have done this is if I turn that 1 into 3 over 3, you can actually cancel out all the denominators if they're all the same like that. It's kind of a crazy thing you can do this, but then you'd be left with 2x plus 5 equals 3. You're just left with what's in the top when you do that, which ends up being the same thing. I still kind of like the multiplying by 3 thing. If you multiply everything by 3, all right? Okay, next one. I'm going to bring all my x's to one side, so I'm going to add 2x. Those cancel. I'm left with -4x plus 8 equals -4. Bring my numbers to the other side, subtract 8. I'm left with -4x equals -12. And my last step will be, running out of space, let me rewrite it over here. Divide by -4. And I get x equals -16. Okay? The last one I got here is a word problem. Mr. Flory has a pizza every Friday night. He had the pizza delivered and tipped the delivery person $4. A large pizza cost $12.75. Each topping cost $1.40. The total cost of the pizza was $23.75, including tip. Write an equation for the total cost of the pizza, including the tip, using x for the number of toppings. Okay, so the whole thing was $23.75. Let me start there. Okay, this is the total cost. Now I tipped the driver $4. I'll put that over here. The pizza was $12.75. I already tipped the guy $4, and each topping was $1.40. So $12.75 and $1.40 and $1.40. Now you don't know how many toppings I got, so that's where the x goes, okay? Which means that is the equation that you're looking to solve, okay? And I would like you to solve it as the U try, which would be part B. Solve it using algebra, not just guess and check, please. Do with opposite operations, all right? Combine like terms first and then solve for x. All right, that's all I got for tonight. Good luck on your quiz. See y'all soon.